At least once in a lifetime, while reading philosophy or even having a deep conversation with someone, we might have stumbled upon words like existentialism, absurdism, nihilism, utilitarianism, objective nihilism, and all these kind of words, stoicism, and immediately felt like we were in over our heads. We cannot proceed with the conversation afterwards, and we felt so dumb. We have all been there, and I can understand that. These ideas feel dark, complicated, anxiety inducing, but you know what? Today, I am going to break them down into clear, relatable concepts using real life examples. I will also recommend you all the books which I have studied to understand these concepts and school of thoughts. So these are all my favorite and very beginner friendly books. This is A Cup of Tea and I am Fiza, your host, and today we are going to learn about the school of thoughts. Let's start. The first school of thought we have is existentialism. It is your life, your responsibility, and it is all on you. It presents a core idea that life has no pre-assigned purpose. It's up to you to create your own meaning through the choices and authentic living. It also says that there's no cosmic purpose waiting for you. There are no signs from the universe. You give your life your own meaning. Examples such as you are told that you can be anything you want to become one day. That's liberating, right? But that's also terrifying because existentialism is a philosophy of freedom and the anxiety it brings. Let's take another example. You are offered two jobs. One is quite stable and the other one is meaningful but risky. Existentialism here says that choose the job or pick what really aligns with your values, not with the society. Very famous quote by John Paul Sartre, and it is, "Man is nothing else but what he makes of himself." Some book recommendation. This book I read it when I was in my first year, and it is Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It is really it's a very beautifully written book, and it's an unforgettable memoir and a philosophical lesson all in one. It's written by a Holocaust survivor who found meaning in suffering. The second school of thought we have is absurdism. Meaning or no meaning, you still show up. That's the core idea of absurdism. Let's understand it more clearly. So we crave meaning, but the joke's on us because absurdism comes from the realization that humans crave meaning in a universe that's silent and not gonna answer you because it does not care. The conflict between wanting purpose and the world giving you none. That's absurd. Like you want purpose, but the world does not care. So the solution here is that we must accept it and embrace it. Live it the way we want it. Let's take an example. You wake up, go to work, come home, sleep, repeat. It feels meaningless. But absurdism says that you still get to live and laugh through it all. So absurdism knows that nothing really matters, but it still chooses to live the best of the life. Let's take another example. You're working on something that feels very pointless, but you decide to give it your best efforts because you choose to, because that gives you happiness. And even though you know it is pointless, but you're still gonna work towards it. One really great quote it is that one must imagine Sisyphus happy. One book and it is enough to understand the core value behind absurdism, and that is Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. Camus turns this story of a man endlessly rolling a boulder uphill into a metaphor for finding peace in struggle. The another school of thought we have is nothing matters and that's it. The core idea behind nihilism is that nihilism believes that life, morality, truth have no inherent meaning. Again, it can lead to despair or total emotional detachment. Imagine writing a life story and finding that no one will ever read it. Nihilism asks you one question. There is no reader. Still want to write? Take another example. You fail to meet society's definition of success, and nihilism says that those definitions of success and achievements are really meaningless anyway. So you should not be worrying about it. It's one thing about nihilism, not as an idea at present, but one thing I really like, when you are going through one of the shittiest day, I love this idea because it makes me feel that okay, nothing really matters. So it really does not matter. So whatever I did, I said, all these kind of thoughts just does not sense, because at the end of the day we are just a small little creatures on a blue dot. That's it. And I like to think about it, that nothing in the world is really so big. I like to be a nihilist on a very dark and gloomy days of my life. A famous quote by him, it's God is dead. Yeah, not literally, but he says he meant that the traditional structures of meaning have collapsed and it will not be applied. It would not be applied in the modern world. Thus spoke Zarathustra by Friedrich Nietzsche, of course. It's a poetic and philosophical journey into overcoming meaninglessness by hitting your own values. Before we move to Stoicism and utilitarianism, I would like to draw your attention towards one thing. We all must understand that when we question existentialism with absurdism. So, whenever we are questioning existentialism, we come to a point of absurdism. Now, when we have arrived at absurdism, there are two ways which we can go at it. From a point of existentialism, we said that okay, nothing matters, so I can make my own life meaningful. We came to a point of absurdism. We arrived to a conclusion that actually universe also does not care and nothing really matters to us. So what to do now? So now we have two options: to fall into a trap of nihilism or to actually be an absurdist and stick to your own values. Existentialism we will question through absurdism, and after absurdism there are 2 points which we can go. One is the nihilist behavior. We can be all nonchalant about it. What matters? Nothing matters, so we will do nothing. And one is ki okay, when nothing matters, so I will still show up, and that is absurdism. Now we have another school of thought, that is Stoicism. It says control what you can, control the inner and accept the outer. The core idea it presents is that you can't control the world, but you can definitely control your own reactions to it. Stoicism teaches us to act with logic, not with emotions. So basically, if something happened really bad, what you can do is to think what can be done next. Let's say you are very late for an interview because of traffic. Now Stoicism says that do not focus on what has been done. Focus on your response. What's done has done. The damage has been done. Now focus on what you can actually do. Great quote is that you have power over your mind, not outside events. So realize this and you will be free. You will find strength. That is by Marcus Aurelius. Last school of thought for this video is utilitarianism. It is the greatest good for the greatest number. The core idea behind this school of thought is that the morally right action is the one produces the most happiness or well-being for the most people. It focuses more on the outcome, not on the intention. We must remember that. So let's say if you have 5 vaccine doses and 10 patients. 5 vaccine doses and 10 patients. Utilitarianism says give them to the 5 who can most likely to benefit the society. Yeah, it is really cold and people say it's logical. It's more like you skip your own comfort to help others because the outcome helps more people. That's the utilitarian choice. A quote which I can recall as per the moment is that the worth of a state in the long run is the worth of individual composing it. Here's this one book which I read to understand utilitarianism. It's not that tough as the other 4. It's basically Simple Utilitarianism by John Stuart Mill. It's a foundational text that balances logic, ethics, and human empathy to explain the roots of moral philosophy. Which philosophy spoke to you the most? Are you a Stoic or a utilitarian or an existential? Your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you love turning complex ideas into simple truths. I'll see you next time. Bye.